it is still frustratingly difficult for me to get this going in the mornings. I don't know why I fumble so much. I'm trying to make this show a little more, like I said, conversational and easier for me to do, not feel so like pressured for specific news coverage. Hence, yesterday's awkward. Final Fantasy 12 is better than Final Fantasy 16. Not meant to be like a deep dive into it, although I have thought about doing a more thorough 16 video in the future, but more of a just my thoughts, quick thoughts, because didn't really have too much else to talk about. And gaming is a medium with many genres, and fantasy is one of those. And there we go, genreverse, cup of genre. You see how that works? Let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the daily cup of genre, at least 3 times in a row daily cup of genre here on the Genreverse YouTube channel and Genreverse Podcast Network, available on all of your favorite podcast apps such as Spotify and Apple. We do a lot of good listens, downloads on Apple. So if you don't mind, if you're listening us, leave us a review. That would be great. 5 stars if we do earn 5 stars, or whatever, just put it in there, help us out, and we appreciate the feedback. And of course, if you are watching us on the YouTube channel, one of the best ways to consume all of our content, because we have a lot of reactions that don't go up on podcasts, because that would just be kind of weird. But yeah, all of the podcasts do go up on the YouTube channel, as well as reactions, anime reactions, trailer reactions. We're starting to do some shorts. I've done a few. This one is really funny. The Home Alone case was broken. It needed a new home. I highly suggest you check that out. It was a lot of fun to do. And all of that was purposefully just to dig at former editor-in-chief of LRMonline.com, where you can go every day for entertainment news, needs, opinions, celebrity interviews, and more. Former editor-in-chief Joseph Jammer Medina. I wanted to make a joke and kind of dig at him. And I made this video that becomes that short. You can see the unedited version, full version of it in our Discord. Link in the description box below. I think it's in the general chat room of our Discord. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Did I say I'm Kyle? I don't know. My name's on the screen and on so much stuff. I often forget to introduce myself. Now that I'm thinking about that, I don't think I say I'm Kyle very much anymore on at least not on Daily Cog. I do on AVR Squared. What are we doing around LRMonline.com? Because we do cover everything, like I said, hoity-toity stuff, geek, pop culture, comics, tabletop gaming, even, like you name it, we cover it. Not gonna go into these stories deep today. Just show you guys a little bit about what we got going on besides getting the podcast and whatnot available here as well. What to watch this weekend recommendations, those usually come from Fox Troilo, good guy. He's recommending Wonka this weekend. You can go read why. Things about Dune, things about the MCU. Well, not really, maybe, who knows. Wakanda is getting an animated series coming to Disney Plus, Eyes of Wakanda. No idea if this is replacing the live action series that was announced a while ago, but the kind of the synopsis for Eyes of Wakanda reads, throughout Wakandan history, brave warriors have been tasked to travel the world retrieving dangerous vibranium artifacts. This is their story. Sounds like it could be like a anthology type piece, like a What If. And this announcement came, speaking of What If, came during a premiere for What If Season 2, which I don't remember if that dropped recently or is about to drop. When is that? What If Season 2? Because you're getting like 1 episode a day, every day, starting on the 22nd. There you go. So 22nd through the 30th, you get What If Season 2. Anyways, another thing you can find there, Dune. I am sorry, don't yell at me. I've still not watched Dune. part 1, Dune. But part 2's third trailer is out. This is just a sample of some of the stuff that you guys can, of course, get at lrmonline.com. Let's talk about some sad news. Andre Braugher has died, star of Homicide: Life on the Street in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, a show my wife and I, Christine, love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He passed away, 61 years old. Really sad. A lot of talent. Was also in Glory, if I'm not mistaken. That was his first movie. Had won awards. You know, I've seen him, of course, in shows. I've seen him in movies, including Glory. But I know him most from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I can't recommend that show enough. It's sad what happened to Brooklyn Nine-Nine in 2020 and what happened with the 8th season, which I couldn't even finish. And it wasn't even the changes that we had seen, although some of them were frustrating. It was not wanting to see it all fall apart and just kind of remember it through season 7. It was a show that managed to comment on all of the social things that people like to see commented on without being overbearing, or I don't want to say going too far, because that's not the right phrase, but I guess overbearing or too blunt, not having enough respect for the audience's intelligence. And I think they handled everything from racial issues to LGBT issues to police issues well. But how dare you have police look good in 2020? So, and that comes as cities that once touted defunding police have now refunded police. I mean, it's sad what happened. Not as sad as sad as losing Andre Braugher, Captain Holt, but still, feelings, conversation, right? It's awkward, man. I don't like talking about death when I don't have anything against the person. It sounds messed up. It's just me kind of joking. If you ever watch our anime reactions, you'll see that I often do use very dark and inappropriate humor to cut through tension. So we got to talk about another death. See? Anyways, let's talk about this. E3's dead. No human, no person is dead. Reading from the Washington Post, they quote an official statement from the ESA, Entertainment Software Association. After more than 2 decades of hosting an event that has served as a central showcase for the U.S. and global video game industry, ESA decided to bring E3 to a close. They're quoting Stanley Pierre-Louis, Stanley Pierre-Louis, president and CEO of the nonprofit trade, the ESA. They said, "We know the entire industry, players and creators alike, have a lot of passion for E3. We share that passion. We know it's difficult to say goodbye to such a beloved event, but it's the right thing to do given the new opportunities our industry has to reach fans and partners." And those new opportunities are Sony's State of Play, Nintendo, what do they call their thing again? I forget. But Nintendo has their things as well. This is the joys of brain damage, guys, and I've already been frazzled and had to make several cuts and stuff to this episode, so forgive me. Nintendo Direct. It's actually, it wasn't even the name of it, but right here, Nintendo paved the way for creating the Direct, and it's like, oh yeah, Nintendo Direct and State of Play and others. That's what did it, and it makes sense. It takes a lot of money to go set up a convention. E3 was one of those, man, that just always seemed unattainable. Comic-Cons seem more attainable. Anime conventions seem more attainable, but E3, man, it just felt like I could never ever get to that one, and that sucked. And I'm wondering if the hybrid, because E3 came about because CES no longer really felt like a home for video games. They wanted more interaction, but with both press and consumers. But E3 really just became very, very heavy with the press, and it was harder and harder for consumers, but it's more expensive for the to showcase all the stuff if you don't have things to sell. You know, you want to showcase all this, you're not getting as many opportunities. And I know they're selling booths, but it's not quite like when Marvel Sideshow Showcase goes and brings things to a convention, and they set up and they can sell things right then and there. Gaming companies, I mean, how many of you would buy your copy of the game at the convention? You know what I'm saying? Sure, they've got shirts and other merch, but it's expensive to set all that up. It's a weird one, and with the studios, especially studios being bought up by the big console companies, Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, it just doesn't make sense for them to go pay a bunch of money to set up a big in-person event when they can host something smaller, maybe still somewhat in person, if not all digital, and give us, the consumers, what we want, which is footage. Given what we saw with the Game Awards this year, I think only like 15% of screen time was dedicated to actual awards, and that's insane and awful. But it's a testament to what people want, which is a look at what's coming next, not so much about what has come before, unless it's Fox and Sony Marvel properties you want to see in the MCU again, you awful nostalgia addicts. E3, here's to you, I guess. I fear for other conventions, though. I really do. I've mentioned this on episodes of Daily Cog before. Manny and I, former co-hosts here, used to talk about it as well. Conventions are at risk. We saw a lot of people pull out of San Diego this year. New York, not as big as it once was. Studios are deciding, it's just not worth it to drag all the stuff down there, and what I'm hoping happens with that, and Anime Expo sure as hell didn't seem like that, and that place was packed last year. You guys can actually find videos of our trip to AX this past summer here on the Genreverse YouTube channel, as I try to scroll down somewhere towards the summer. There you go. We did a travel vlog, the panel that we had there, and there's some videos on live anyways. With studios not doing things at San Diego, doing less in New York, WonderCon not even getting the love from DC that it used to, it seems. I'm wondering if comic conventions, San Diego and New York specifically, go back to more of their roots, where there's more of a focus on artists' alley, exhibitors, like individual exhibitors, people bringing, collectibles and rarities to buy, sell, and trade. More focus on comics. I'm wondering if that'll happen, and if it'll make the convention experience more accessible again. Or will you see anime and gaming step in to fill in the cracks? And I don't mean gaming as in like making it as big as E3, but everything, tabletop, trading card games, companies that might not be gaming studios but are peripheral manufacturers, and leagues like esports, seeing esports, that type of gaming increase, filling in the space left by major studios. And that provides more interaction for fans. You know what I'm saying? That provides fans more things to do. Sorry, my cat jumped in my lap and I'm looking at her cute face, you awful being. She's more raccoon than she is cat, I swear. Say hi. All right. So yeah, man, I don't know if E3 will, the brand can always be sold, picked up again, started up by someone else. I would say go out and support conventions whenever you can, though. Local ones, if you have like a Galaxy Con that comes by, if you live near some of the bigger ones, even make sure you go support those things, even if it's just for a day. It's quite the experience, man. I remember my first time at San Diego in 08, walking in on preview night to the exhibit hall floor and being so overwhelmed, as literally everything I had ever loved, including my wife and our husbando Brian was there, for you AVR fans, we're all in one room, right? Essentially, like everything from comics to Star Wars, video games, Lego, I mean, everything, anime. I don't know if I said that. Why? Oh man, my focus went way bad. How long has my focus been out? Oh, was it with the cat? But yeah, everything that I loved was in one room, and that was pretty overwhelming and awesome. And I highly suggest everyone check it out once. As well as I'm shutting this down because, man, it is going to be awful to edit. And the whole point of this was to make it easier on me. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on your favorite podcast apps. Check out the merch. Link in the description box down below. And of course, lrmonline.com every day. All entertainment news, needs, opinions, celebrity interviews, and more. I've been Kyle. That was Saris. Bye.